So if you clicked on this video hoping that I would tell you what my favorite song of all time is, well, I got some bad news for you. A couple weeks ago, I made a community post asking what is your favorite song of all time. I got way more responses than I was expecting, so I'm not talking about all your responses. I got like 10 songs here, okay? I picked songs from artists that I'm not very familiar with, and I picked songs that I've never heard of, with a couple of exceptions. Fractions of Infinity by Quedeca. When this album first came out, I gave it a listen, and I wasn't very into it. I just, I don't know, I didn't really get it. And then so I never listened to it again for some reason. I was like, maybe I'll give it another try at some point, but I never gave it another try. Then I listened to Fractions of Infinity, and I think I get it, okay? I still haven't listened to the full album yet, but I want to because this song is incredible. I absolutely enjoyed the hell out of this thing. This song is single-handedly making me want to go back and listen to the rest of the album. Hopefully by the time this video comes out, I have listened to the rest of the album. We got the beginning part of the song, which is kind of all like you got these weird synth noises going on there that kind of sound like a horn honking. The first time I heard it, I was in the car and it sounded like someone was like honking their horn at me, but it's not. It's a synth. So we got some like glitchy synthy type sounds going on in there, and then man, when the chorus hits and those drums kick in and like there's like those airy vocals, straight up vibes, man. The song kind of goes through all these different like twists and turns. Kind of there's like this middle section in the song where Quedeca starts like rapping. Very sick vibes there. Quedeca, good shit, man. And then like of course the very end of the song you got Sunday Service Choir coming in there, and that just like makes me float. Hopefully future Kyle has listened to the album because I'm sure I'd like it. I want to get this one out of the way because I told Aleph that I would talk about it. Addict with a Pen by 21 Pilots. By the way, I was in a hurry to film this video before the sun sets, so I don't have everyone's name written down, but you know, through the power of editing you'll see your comment. The vocals kind of throw me off on this one, I'm not gonna lie. But I think there's some cool stuff in there. You know, there's these electronic sputters of beats, you know, these electronic beat sputters kind of sound pretty sick in there. I don't really jive with the vocals, but the piano's nice. You know, there's some stuff to like about it. Honestly, I didn't listen to this a whole lot. I listened to it a few times, but I promised Aleph that I would talk about it. He's done a lot for the community, so I gotta respect his decision here to make me talk about 21 Pilots. Let's do Only Tomorrow by My Bloody Valentine. This is one that I listened to, and I actually wasn't planning on talking about it in this video, but then it randomly came on in my playlist. I was like, wait a second, this is pretty cool. I don't think there's a whole lot for me to discuss about this particular song. I just really enjoy the guitar tones. The guitar tones really they just scratch my ear, bro. My Bloody Valentine always has those fantastic guitar tones that will just scratch your ear in the very correct way. Let's run it with the song that I have heard before. We got Midnight in a Perfect World by DJ Shadow. This is off the album Introducing, which is the first album that was ever made with only samples, so there's not a single live recorded instrument in this album. This song in particular does a great job of showing off like the technical capabilities that DJ Shadow has. The way he was able to make such an atmospheric track with all these different samples and make it flow so well together is just honestly incredible. And also the vocal samples are so sick in this. I felt that this was worth the mention. It's a song that I've heard before. It's definitely my favorite song off of Introducing, and it's probably one of the best songs of all time just because of the incredible techniques that are used in this thing. In My View by Young Fathers. Shout out to A Bucket of Jake. He didn't write this comment, but I know he's a big fan of Young Fathers. And I gotta listen to more Young Fathers because I really like their one album. This one. I really like this album, but I haven't listened to any of their other stuff. But this song in particular is making me want to listen to some of their other stuff. Some great lyrics on this track, dude. I want to be king until I am. That line, perfect. The vocals are amazing. The beat is amazing. I love Young Fathers, how they have these like interesting sounding synths in most of their songs, or at least the songs that I've heard, where they're crunchy, but at the same time they're soft, if that makes sense. And also all the background vocals that are going on in this track really tie it all together super well. Great song. Thank you for whoever suggested this because you're reminding me that I need to listen to more Young Fathers. X Factor by Miss Lauryn Hill. This is off of the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, an album that I've heard a lot about. I've seen this album everywhere, but I've never taken the time to actually sit down and listen to it. And once again, this is one of those songs that is making me want to sit down and listen to the whole album. I haven't yet, but I'm going to at some point in my lifetime. I can guarantee you that. We got some soul vibes here, some soul grooves. I really enjoy the vocals on this track. The story that's being told is pretty heartbreaking as well. You know, good heartbreak vibes here, but the vibes of the instrumentals just kind of make you want to groove and flow. The last section of the song is pretty catchy. The die for me, you said you die for me. The bass tone in it also is really nice. Every single time I hear this song come on, I'm kind of put into this good mood. Even though the lyrics kind of don't really reflect a story of goodness, I'm put into a mood of goodness whenever I hear this track because it's just so floaty. This is making me want to listen to The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I probably will do that at some point in my lifetime, like I said. We'll talk about Musician by Porter Robinson real quick. I've already heard this track, but I felt like it was worth mentioning because I haven't listened to it in a while, and seeing this comment made me want to go back and listen to it, of course, and then I listened to the rest of the album because I haven't listened to the album in a long time. The vibes on this track are incredible. It's fun because it's kind of the same sample loop throughout the entire track, but the way that Porter is able to develop the track through like a verse, chorus structure by using that same sample loop is very interesting to me. I mean, it's just like a nice EDM track with some very bright vibes, and I love it. I just wanted to give a quick mention to that song. Lover, You Should Have Come Over by Jeff Buckley. Fuck, man, this is a good song. This is a good song. I've listened to Grace once in my lifetime, way back in the day. I definitely got to check it out again, especially after hearing this track. His vocals, man, he's really good at singing. I love his inflections and like the way he kind of goes from like soft, like these like softer tones into like really belting out these lines here. The guitar is also incredible. Something about these chords that the guitar is playing and like the tone of the acoustic and just the way it's recorded just really makes my ears tingle. Like I just absolutely love it. It kind of just feels like the guitar is like just right there in your ear, you know. There's also a great organ in this track. This track is beautiful, dude. This track is beautiful. I listened to this one time on the freeway while like the sun was setting, and I was like, dude, oh my god, this is just the greatest thing in my life, dude. Listening to this song while the sun's setting and you're driving on the freeway, life just felt perfect in that moment, you know? So this song is great. Movies for Guys by Jane Remover. Haven't listened to Jane Remover, really want to. At first when I listened to the song, I did not get it. I actually was like, dude, I don't know if I could take this. It was like very sporadic. There's all these different changes that happens. It's like a 5-minute song, and there's like 3 to 4 different songs in that 5-minute song. I don't mind when songs do that, but like the first time I heard this, it's just like I was so thrown off by it. But I mean, also by the way, now I absolutely love it. I actually really enjoy it. The only thing is, I wish the first section was longer, especially the instrumental part, because the instrumental part of that first section is so groovy. Honestly, all sections of the song. The last section is really cool too. I gotta listen to this album. I've heard so many good things about this album. And I know Jane Remover just released another new album that I should probably listen to before the end of the year. Be Quiet and Drive by Deftones. This is my favorite song out of all these songs and that I'm talking about. I don't know why. This song's like pretty simple, to be honest. It's kind of just the same riff over and over again, but God, just the way those guitar tones sound and like the vocals, like it all just comes together so nicely. This is just a head-banging song. I haven't listened to something like this in so freaking long. I enjoy these kind of heavier type guitars. I listened to the rest of this album because of this track, because I enjoyed this song so much. I don't know, maybe I gotta listen to it more, but maybe I didn't really enjoy the album in its entirety. But for some reason, this track itself is just so sick, dude. Those guitars just sound super cool. It's not too heavy. It's like just heavy enough for me, you know? Buckingham Green by Ween. Everyone's fucking wanting me to talk about Ween these days, dude. Goodness gracious. Can you guys stop asking me to talk about Ween? I'll do it eventually, I promise. There's some sort of story going on in this song. Doesn't make quite sense to me. You know, there's a child without an eye. Made her mother cry. I don't even know, like, what Buckingham Green is. Why this child doesn't have an eye. Why they see it as a sign from God. But it doesn't matter because the instrumental is, like, so epic. The guitars are sick, obviously. There's like these interesting like choir type synths that are happening in the background, and there's like these strings. Like it kind of just explodes into something like just so out of the realm of what you think Ween would be if you've only heard Ocean Man, you know? I don't want you guys to think I've only heard Ocean Man. I know Ween can get really, really weird with some of their stuff. This song is just really, really sick. So if anyone only knows Ween because of Ocean Man, maybe you should check out this song. The only song I got left that I want to talk about here would be I Swore by Women. This song is super sick. The guitars on this track is super like reverby. It's almost kind of like if Animal Collective made like a garage rock album, I feel like is what this song sounds like to me. Like, it's very lo-fi production. The drumming's very faint, but there's some cool drum riffs in there, some cool drum fills. The guitars are super like reverbed out to the point where like you can hear some feedback going on there because of how reverbed out these guitars are. The vocals are very distant, but you can still kind of hear what's going on in there. The song does a really interesting job of like going from like super headbanging, especially at the beginning. Like the first portion of the song is super sick because like it really gets you set up. You know, you're headbanging. There's all these awesome guitar riffs going on, and then it kind of slows down into these more like kind of chiller vibes. You know, the track kind of goes up and down in terms of like pacing. The last portion of the song, the climax if you will, is really cool as well because there's all these background vocals going on. There's kind of like this almost kind of a call and response type thing going on in these vocals. Like I said, it's almost like if Animal Collective made like a garage rock song. This was fun. I got some really great songs out of this thing. So if you guys have heard any of these songs, let me know how you guys feel about them. Let me know which of these albums I should check out because like I said, there's a lot of albums on this list that I want to check out. And thank you to everyone who commented on that post.